Every morning, thousands of Chicagoans start their day by walking through our doors, on their way to the businesses that call our buildings home. Ranging from local businesses to flourishing startups to Fortune 500 companies, we represent nearly every industry you can imagine. Who are we? We are the Building Owners and Managers Association of Chicago. Standing strong as the heart of Chicago's breathtaking skyline, the office buildings we represent employ over 72,000 workers and serve as the lifeblood of our thriving downtown business district. But it's not easy. Since our founding in 1902, we've faced challenges that threaten our very livelihood, including the increasing costs of property taxes, energy, and labor. But we've seen unprecedented opportunities as well. Through the leadership and commitment of our members and committees, we can proudly say that BOMA Chicago has continued to rise to the challenge.
Well, we like to think that our members benefit from the work of the Taxation Committee at various levels: education, keeping our members apprised of what's going on in Springfield, what's going on in Chicago. The legislation that the mayor put forth in Springfield would have caused tax increases on commercial property of as much as 20 to 25%. Through our efforts of quashing this legislation, we experienced an increase of less than half of that amount. We're pushing very hard right now at the committee level to try to educate our elected leaders in terms of other ways to minimize tax increases. For example, cut spending, pension fund reform, and other methods that we think would be beneficial without hurting the homeowners and without driving business out of Chicago.
One of the primary focuses of the Energy and Sustainability Committee is really to advocate on behalf of members in legislative issues and to make sure that we're a part of the conversation. This year, the Energy and Sustainability Committee worked very closely with our partners down in Springfield to oppose the ComEd legislation. We see this as a very important piece of legislation that could drastically increase energy costs for all members, and we want to make sure that we're at the table to fight these increases and continue to make sure that we have the lowest energy prices possible to stay competitive. The committee also focuses on educating all of the BOMA members regarding any updates to ComEd or energy efficiency incentive programs as it relates to any changes to green rating systems, Energy Star updates, really providing the information to allow buildings to make better decisions when it comes to improving their portfolio and making their portfolios as efficient as possible. I think a big benefit of the committee is the fact that we're all very like-minded and we're trying to find solutions that aren't inherently easy to solve. So being able to look across the table at some of my peers and understand how they view sustainability, how they're able to drive efficiency within their organizations really helps myself, and it helps the larger BOMA community really understand how we can drive change.
Our committee is made up of a wide range of disciplines which are very valuable to the development of code analyses, of responses back to the city, of contributing to a well thought out and comprehensive evaluation of different issues that come before us.
All that happens because of the collaboration we have with not only our members but also with the leadership of BOMA and the different departments within the Department of Buildings. All that really helps get things done.
We've built such a strong relationship with the Department of Buildings that BOMA has been on an advisory committee to the building commissioner over the years. The building commissioner has come to our codes meeting with other of her team members for an informal discussion about issues that they're facing, to listen to issues that we're concerned about. It's informal discussion, frank, open. That's a very, very valuable relationship to have with the city. The proposed legislation would actually make building owners and managers criminally responsible for any code noncompliance, even if they were not aware of the code noncompliance, even if they had just bought the building.
So the criminal building management legislation was certainly not in the right direction for BOMA buildings and for everybody working within the building. So we worked closely with the unions and with the other various agencies to really look at that and take a strong position against this type of legislation.
One of the core strengths of the Preparedness Committee is our public sector relationships. So through OEMC, CFD, CPD, DHS, FBI, you name it.
We're talking about the policymakers. We're talking about the fire department head and the Eddie Johnsons of the world and the OEMC director. We also talk about what could the private sector do for the public sector and vice versa. So we know about the protests, we know about the city's plans, we're working on a citywide evacuation plan. So a lot of things that we're able to do that if we were not part of BOMA or not part of the Preparedness Committee, we wouldn't have that opportunity.
The Security Committee was more of the practicing working arm, helping take those relationships and extend them out throughout membership. Now as they both join together and become the Preparedness Committee, we're doing a lot of work, a lot of seminars, tabletop exercises, brown bag lunches to educate the membership on everything that we're gathering from all of our partners.
As Chicago's premier commercial real estate organization, BOMA Chicago unites the collective strength of our members in accomplishing our labor, education, and membership goals.
BOMA Chicago's Labor Committee is the only labor committee internationally that negotiates contracts on behalf of the memberships. If each individual building were to negotiate on their own behalf, they would spend legal fees that are associated with it, they would spend the time and energy of their staffs, and they might not be able to generate the best savings as a part of this contract. The Labor Committee actually negotiates with 3 different bargaining groups. SEIU represents 2 of them, which are the janitors as well as the security, and Local 399 represents the building engineers. In 2016, the BOMA Labor Committee successfully negotiated a contract with SEIU Local 1 security providers. The union contracts that have been negotiated by the BOMA Chicago Labor Committee, as well as the other bargaining groups, have been able to provide benefits that are beneficial to the employees, whether it be health care, pension, a variety of different benefits that will provide for the long-term health of the buildings of Chicago as well as the employees in Chicago.
The programs that the Education Committee implements benefit all of our members across all professional levels, including entry level up to seasoned professionals, our affiliates, and other people that are associated with the building industry. The situational leadership was a very unique program that we did this year to try to enhance the educational offerings. We had over 40 people that were enrolled in the program. It received rave reviews. As a matter of fact, 100% of the people in attendance would recommend it to other people in their companies and throughout the profession. We have great partners that we can work with to provide additional educational programs. And one of those was where we partnered with the USGBC and AIA to put on a couple of seminars this year, one of which was WELL certification seminar. We had a panel of experts that presented the program. I think education is so important in our industry because nothing stays the same. There are new trends that come up every day. There are new government protocols that you have to address. And this is what keeps us coming back to work every day, is because there is something new that you need to be knowledgeable about in order to run your buildings in the highest operational efficiency possible.
Whether it's working together to meet emerging challenges or advancing our industry, our members work tirelessly to ensure BOMA Chicago is strong and well-positioned for the future. A strong commercial real estate industry is vital to a thriving economy, and BOMA Chicago's contributions to our city are significant. Our buildings contribute more than $3.5 billion to the Illinois economy through taxes, jobs, and consumer spending. So who are we? We are BOMA Chicago. Together, stronger, and ready for the future.